I did something that honestly scared me a little. I stopped eating sugar for 30 days. Now, I know that might not sound like a big deal at first, but sugar is everywhere. It is in your breakfast cereal, your salad dressing, your ketchup, and even in bread. We eat it without even thinking about it. And I was no different. I was not living off candy bars or soda, but I had a sweet tooth, and I definitely reached for sugary things when I was stressed or tired. I used sugar as a pick-me-up, even though I never really admitted it to myself. So I decided to test myself. No sugar for a full month. I wanted to know what would happen to my body and my brain. Would I feel better? Worse? Would it even make a difference? I had no idea what I was about to go through, and I learned a lot more than I expected. Let me tell you the truth about the first few days. They were not fun. But before we start, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I encourage you to click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated with our latest content. Also, don't forget to like and share the video. On day 1, I was feeling confident. I had thrown out the obvious sugary snacks, stocked up on healthier food, and I was ready. That confidence lasted until about 3 p.m. when my head started to pound. I felt foggy, tired, and honestly, kind of grumpy. By day 2, it felt like I had caught a cold. I had zero energy. I was irritable, and everything felt harder than it should have. I even snapped at a friend over something small, which I almost never do. That was when I realized I was going through withdrawal. My body was used to getting sugar at regular times. It gave me fast energy and boosted my mood for a little while. Without it, I felt like my body was hitting the brakes. And it wasn't just physical. My brain was begging for it. I would walk past a coffee shop and instantly think about muffins or cookies. I was not even hungry, but the cravings were strong. I had to remind myself why I started. I told myself, "You can get through one more day." That was how I made it through the first week. One day at a time. Then something strange started to happen around day 5. I woke up and realized I felt okay. Not amazing, but definitely better. The brain fog started to lift. My headache was gone. I could think clearly again, and I was not dragging myself through the day anymore. I noticed that I did not need that mid-afternoon nap I always used to take. My body was adjusting. I also stopped feeling so hungry all the time. Before this, I was always snacking, not because I needed food, but because my body was used to those sugar spikes and crashes. I'd feel a drop in energy, grab something sweet, feel better for a while, and then crash again. It was a cycle I never noticed until I stepped out of it. Without sugar, that cycle started to fade. My hunger felt more steady and natural. I would eat a full meal, and I would not be thinking about food again for hours. That was new for me. I felt more in control, less pulled around by cravings. That small shift gave me the motivation to keep going. By the end of the second week, I started to notice things that had nothing to do with food. One morning, I looked in the mirror and realized my skin looked better. It looked less puffy. The redness around my nose and chin had faded. I had fewer breakouts, and my face looked calmer and more even. I was not using new products, so the only thing I had changed was my diet. My sleep also got better. I used to wake up a few times every night. Sometimes I would toss and turn for hours. Now, I was falling asleep faster and staying asleep longer. I would wake up feeling rested, not like I needed to snooze my alarm 3 times. The biggest change, though, was in my mood. I felt more even, less anxious. Little things that would normally set me off or make me feel overwhelmed didn't bother me as much. I was not reacting to every small problem with stress or frustration. There was this calmness I hadn't felt in a long time. It was like I had been living with low-level stress for so long that I did not even notice it anymore, until it was gone. And I realized sugar had a bigger hold on my emotions than I ever knew. Of course, I had to make some big changes to my meals. I could not just remove sugar and keep eating the same things. I had to figure out what to eat that would actually keep me full and satisfied. I started eating more whole foods, real food. I filled my plate with eggs, chicken, fish, vegetables, brown rice, nuts, and seeds. I had fruit too, but I was careful with it. I stuck with things like apples, berries, and oranges because they have fiber and do not spike your blood sugar too much. I stopped buying anything with a long list of ingredients. If I could not pronounce it, I did not eat it. I also paid close attention to labels. So many foods that look healthy are loaded with sugar. Granola bars, flavored yogurt, fruit juice, even soups. I had to relearn how to grocery shop. In the beginning, meals felt plain. I missed sauces, dips, and dressings. But after a week or so, my taste buds started to change. I began to notice the sweetness in foods that never tasted sweet before. Carrots, bell peppers, and even plain almonds had a richer flavor. Fruit started tasting like dessert. And that blew my mind. Sugar had been numbing my taste for years. Without it, I was finally tasting real food again. Now, here is something people do not always talk about. Cutting sugar affects your social life. Going out to eat became a challenge. Most restaurants use sugar in their sauces, marinades, and even their side dishes. I had to ask questions I never asked before. Does this dressing have sugar in it? Can you leave the sauce off the chicken? It felt awkward sometimes, and I got a few weird looks. I also had to say no to desserts at birthday parties and get-togethers. And while no one was rude about it, I did feel a little left out at times. It made me realize just how much we use sugar to bond with people. It is part of our celebrations, our comfort, and even our routines. The cravings did not fully disappear, but they became quiet. At first, I thought about sugar all the time. By week 3, I would see cookies and think, those look good. But I did not feel pulled to grab one. The craving was there, but it was soft, and I had the strength to say no without it being a struggle. By the end of the 30 days, the results were clear. I had lost a few pounds without even trying. My clothes fit better. My skin looked healthier. My sleep was deeper. My energy was steady, and my focus was stronger. But the biggest change was how I felt in my mind. I felt clear, calm, awake. It was like I had been living with noise in the background of my life, and now things were quiet. I did not realize how much sugar was controlling my habits, my energy, and even my emotions. I would not have believed it if I had not lived it. This one change made everything feel different. Now, I am not saying sugar is evil, or that everyone should quit forever, but I do think everyone should try it at least once. Give your body a break and see what happens. Even a week or two can teach you something. You might be shocked by what you discover when sugar is no longer running the show. So, after 30 days without sugar, here is the honest truth. It was hard, it was uncomfortable, but it was also one of the most eye-opening things I have ever done. I learned how much sugar was affecting me. I learned how to eat better, and I learned that I can handle more than I thought. If this video helped you, please hit that like button and share it with someone who could use it too. And of course, subscribe to stay updated with our latest content. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.